Hey, math class, what is going on? I am super jazzed about today's lesson. We are going to work on estimating tip and discount amounts. Two very important life skills to know. Oftentimes, you're going out to eat a lot with your family or with friends, and we're definitely always looking for sales. So, I'm going to show you a couple ways of how you can estimate what your tips should be and what your discount's going to be, so you know what you're spending. So, here we go. So let's take a look at these four examples. Um, we've got 10% of $1. Now, what does that mean? Now, we know that 10% means per 100. So it's 10 per 100, or 10 hundredths, or 0.10, right? Because we've got for review, we've got the tenths there. We've got the hundredths there. So we've got 10 hundredths of $1. And when we take a number times 1, we get that number. So it's 10 cents. So 10% of $1 is 10 cents. Let's do the same thing for 10% of $10. So we've got 10 hundredths times $10, and we know that equals $1. Now we go to the next of $100. We've got 10 hundredths times $100 equals $10. And then 10% of 1,000, 10 hundredths times 1,000 equals $100. So what do you notice? What pattern do you see here? What pattern do you see here? So we've got $1, $10, $100, and $1,000. And when you take 10% of it, what happens? Your decimal point just moves over 1, right? So we've got there, 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 and there. See how that happens? So the trick or the pattern that you see tells you that when you get a bill for something like, let's say you go to the restaurant and your bill is $40, and you want to tip 10%, all you need to do is move that decimal place back 1, and your tip for 10% will be $4. Let's take a look at a couple others. Let's look at an amount of $55. So you and a friend went to a restaurant, and this was your bill, and you decided, I wanted to tip 10%. So what can we do for 10%? Again, we simply move that decimal point back 1, and your tip becomes $5.50. But what if the server did a really good job? And, like right now, kind of the going rate for tips is 20%. So when you go to a full service restaurant, and if you're really impressed and they did a really good job, you're going to go 20%. Well, we know that 20% is 2 times 10%. So again, we would go that, we'd have 550, but then we need to take that times 2. And 550 is, 5 times 5 is 10, 50 times 50 is 1, so we know that our tip would be $11. So what if 15% is an extreme, like it's super acceptable, right? Some people don't want to tip 20%, but some people want to give them more than 10. So what if you want to do 15%? So here's what you can do. Again, you can take your 10%, right? So it's $5.50, and that's 10%. You need to add another 5%. So you would take half of your 550. So you've got your 550, and then what's half of 550? Well, you know that half of 5 is 250, right? And then half of 50 is 25 cents. So 250 add 25 equals 275. So if you get your 550, add 275 for your total tip of 5, 12, 825. Let's try another one. Oftentimes, your bill doesn't turn out to be a perfect number. So what happens if you get a bill like this? $63.86. And you want to give them a 10% tip. Well, so there you go. With that decimal back. And you go 6386. Here's where you can either round up, you can round down. I typically round up, so I would either give a tip of $6.40, or if I was really, really happy, I might even go $7. Okay. So what if you want that to be a 20% tip? Well, there again, you get to this step and you multiply it by 2, right? And so you've got 6 times 2 is 12, 40 times 2 is 80. So you've got 1280, which I might go $13. Okay? And then if you want to go 15%, again you would go 640 is 10%, right? Well, then divide that by 2. We know that 320 add 320 is 640, right? So we've got 640 add 320, and we've got 0, 6, 960, might give them $10. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you a few problems using our restaurant menu where you can try this out on your own. Now we're going to take a look at discounts. So these signs I'm sure look super familiar to you, right? And they're super, when I see these signs, I get super excited because I want to go and I want to get a shirt and I see 25% off. I want to quickly figure out how much money am I saving. So let's say that I am going to get a shirt, right? And that shirt is $35, right? But it's 25% off. How am I going to figure that out? Well, we can use the same method, the same logic that we used when calculating tips. So again, I'm going to start by just going, what's 10% of 35? So I'm going to go back. So I know that $3.50 is 10%. So if I add another $3.50, I get $7, right? And that's 20%. So I'm almost there. So then I have to do half of 350. So to get half of 350, I'm going to split that 2 ways. I've got 150 and 150, that's 3. But I've got 25 cents, 50 cents remaining. So then I go 25, 25, right? So I get 175. So now I need to go back and add that in. 175. I get 5, 7, 8. So I now know that my discount is $8.75. So using my estimating from previous lessons, I'm going to go, I'm going to round that $8.75 up to $9. So I'm going to go 35 minus 9, and I'm going to get $26. So I know that shirt's going to cost me about $26. That's a great deal. Let's look at one more. So you're looking to buy some furniture. You're at a furniture place and you find this, let's say, I don't know, maybe it's a bedroom furniture set, but it's $875. But here is the amazing thing. It's a clearance sale. So for some reason, it is 65% off. How awesome is that? So you know that you're going to pay less than half for this, right? So let's look at it though. Let's do the thing. So if we go $875 and we go 10% of that, we go back and we've got $87, right? Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this into super quick math because you're just estimating it in your head at the store, right? So you're going to go, this is about $90. And you know that you're overestimating, so it's going to cost a little bit more, but you know it's about $90. And that's 10%. Well, it's 60% off. So I go 90 times 6, and I get $540. Wow, that's a discount. Now you could even leave it at that and say, okay, well I know I'm going to get $540 off, and subtract that from the 875 and even make it, $550, right? Because it's about 15%, and then you would go 875 minus 550, and you would get, let's see, so 550 at 300 is 850, at 25 is 875, so 325 is roughly what you'd be paying. You can also then take that 540, which is your 60%, right? And then go back to here and take half of that to get your additional 5. So half of 90 is 45. So you know that it's 585 is your 65% off. Then you do your math, right? So 875 minus 585, 0, 10, 7, 9, 2. So you are paying, $290 for that furniture. How amazing is that? But remember, we overestimated a little bit because we went $90 instead of 87. So it's probably going to be closer to $300 or maybe a little bit more. But either way, that's a really good deal. All right, now it's your turn. Problem 1, you're going to add everything together and calculate a 10% tip. What is your tip amount? And then what is your total? You're going to do the same thing for problem 2, except it's a 20% tip. And again for problem 3, except it's a 15% tip. Problem 4 is looking at a discount. So calculate what the discount is and then what you have to pay in total. And here's your bonus question. So the price of a computer after discount was $1,200. If the discount was 20%, what was the original sales price? Give it a shot. See what you come up with.